Police Department could face some problems providing security for the upcoming Festival of the Pacific Arts this year, At a public hearing on a bill last week that would give Cape volunteers extended duties, Police Chief JI Cruz said they are struggling to find funding to recruit more officers and volunteers. Guam Police Department Chief of Police JI Cruz testified in favor of Bill 197 at a public hearing yesterday. The bill, introduced by Speaker Judy Wonpat, would authorize the Chief of Police to recruit more volunteers to be able to patrol the 12th Festival of the Pacific Arts, which will be held on Guam next year and is expected to draw thousands to the island. The funding source that has been identified for this bill is the enforcement of accessible parking and littering fees. The problem, Chief Cruz points out, is that because enforcement has been successful, less people are violating those laws.
Do you find that the funds that you have will be sufficient to continue now to provide the additional training for more individuals who want to volunteer?
I will tell you that based on the analysis that we've done in the department and what I've been briefed, on the onset, we think that the fraction of the accessible parking and the littering violations that were coming to the Guam Police Department were, so to speak, were assisting the program. However, we've noticed that because of their success, that the amount of accessible parking and littering has gone down. And that's to the success of the Cape volunteers as well as our CVPR officers. So to that point, because we see a drop, the funding source coming in to feed that program also has diminished. So to answer your question up front, I will tell you that that funding source to be able to support the Cape Volunteer program is not quite meeting the mark.
Next, Chief Cruz spoke about FestPac security. He says he's been appointed as head of the security for FestPac, which means he will have the responsibility of ensuring there is enough security provided from both local and federal law enforcement agencies. For the police department, Cruz says he plans to commit at least 60 officers during FestPac.
Whether it be uniform officers, full-time officers, police reserves, or Cape volunteers. I've committed 60 personnel. But it is my intent to recruit more volunteers, get them trained up, and get them the minimum equipment that they would need to be able to augment that 60.
However, Chief Cruz says he's unsure as to how much more funding GPD will need to be able to provide those 60 officers. Right now, he says GPD only has 8 Cape volunteers.
In taking a look at that, we are looking at appropriations or monies from within, as well as funding from the FestPac committee to assist us in that. I do not have for you at this point a dollar figure that I could attach to that 60.
Chief Cruz says that other law enforcement agencies will be contributing to the overall security for FestPac as well.